So the other day I posted this picture to Instagram and I was really happy with the responses I got. I'm really happy with this picture. Cute little bird hanging off this flower. He's looking right at us. Lovely. I said if it would get 100 likes on Facebook, then I would show the behind the scenes editing because there's quite a bit here. Let me hit reset and show you what this picture looked like before. So here it is. I did not compose this very well. I don't love the house back there. I don't love these dead bits over here, and of course it's all a little underexposed. Shooting with a Sony didn't really matter. This was the Sony a7R Mark II and the 70-200 f4. So first thing I'm just going to do, because this is not a Lightroom lesson, is I'm going to paste those settings I just had on there. So we get a lot brighter. I brought up the exposure almost 2 full stops. You can see that we still have room, though we haven't blown anything out. And I've cropped into a square because it's going to go on Instagram. And while I could keep it at a wider view, I think a square is fine for this. But I still have this very dead branch that is exactly in the same focal plane or weed or whatever we want to call this, and it's quite distracting. So I want to show you how I got rid of this. Now, my friend Adam Furtado over at Photo Nerds Unite has done a nice series of getting rid of unwanted objects. I'm going to touch on 2 methods that could be used in here, but if you want more of those, look for the link right down below this video. So there are tools that you can do this with inside Lightroom. The spot removal tool. It'll even remove more than a spot by just running it over. So I'm just using my bracket key to make it bigger, and I could draw over that, and it's going to sample from someplace else. And it's done a pretty bad job. I could move it somewhere. I'm in clone. I could heal it, and then it's going to try to do a little bit better job of matching. You can see. If we say done, you can see that part of that is actually not too bad, but really, that's not a great way to go. This is when it's really nice to have Photoshop available to you, so that deal where you can have both of these is great. So I'm just going to undo this and undo that. And I'm going to right click on this and I'm going to say edit in Photoshop. This is going to take this image that I've already made these changes to and open it up in Photoshop. This is going to be a quick round trip. Here we are in Photoshop. Now, there are a couple different tools you can use, and as I said, Adam has gone over all of them. The first that I would always try is the content aware fill. So I'm just going to select this area I want to get rid of, kind of a loose selection. It doesn't have to be too fancy. And I'm going to go up to Edit, Fill, and Content's Content Aware, and I'm going to hit OK. And it's going to think about and put something in there. Now, about 70% of the time, this method amazes me, and it's awesome. But about 30% of the time, it's not so good. Now, clearly, we can see some repetition here. This is just kind of weird. Up here, it's pretty all right. I don't think you would really notice that. So in this case, I might even leave this as is. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different method that's related, and that is the content aware scale right here. But first thing we got to do is we got to duplicate our layer so we have something to work with. The background layer, it's always got this lock symbol. It's not a lot of fun to work with. You can unlock it, but you know what? It's nice to have a duplicate layer so you can easily fall back on something, kind of like a master undo is how I think of that. Now I'm going to select part of this. Basically, I'm going to use a guideline. I'm just dragging out from the ruler real quick. I'm going to get real close to his beak, but not right on it. And so now I can use this to create a selection. And now I can go to my Edit Content Aware Scale, and it's going to apply just to the selection, and I can just kind of drag this to the right. And notice that the blade of grass or plant here, it's getting wider, but not nearly at the rate that the background is getting stretched. That is the smart part. That's the content aware scale that's allowing you to do that. So I'm just going to kind of drag this over here and hit enter, Control D to unselect, and I'm going to hide my little ruler by doing Command colon, and there we go. That's it. So I went from that, actually we could go even further back to the dead stick, to that, just by kind of selecting that area and saying content aware scale. Now all I have to do is close this and say yes, save these changes. It's going to pop back over to Lightroom. And here it is with my duplicated without the stuff. So original, duplicated. And again, you can see that that plant green there to the left of the bird really hasn't changed much. And now I do my file export preset, and I have one for Instagram that goes straight to a Dropbox folder, and then it syncs. And then I can pull it up on my phone and share it with the world. Hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.